Welcome to our channel Money Minded Online, the podcast where we explore the best strategies, tools, and stories for making money online. Whether you're an aspiring entrepreneur, a seasoned hustler, or just curious about how to thrive in the digital economy, you're in the right place. Each week, we bring you actionable insights, inspiring interviews, and proven tactics to help you build wealth online. So sit back, take notes, and get ready to transform your future. Let's dive in.
All right, so today we're diving deep into the world of trading.
Oh, exciting.
Yeah, well, specifically, we've got what looks like a plan for a YouTube video about, trading advice.
Yeah.
But it's not just advice, right? It's like it also shows how to make money from teaching trading to other people.
Ah, interesting.
Yeah. So that's kind of, what we're going to unpack today.
Sounds good.
So the first section is all about the psychology of successful traders. Mm-hmm. And it claims that like 90% of traders actually fail.
Yeah.
Which, kind of scary. Is that true?
It's a pretty commonly cited statistic. Mm-hmm. And, trading can be lucrative, but it's definitely not a get-rich-quick scheme.
Right.
And a lot of things feed into that high failure rate.
Yeah.
Lack of discipline, getting emotional with your decision-making.
Yeah.
That fear of missing out, the FOMO.
Yeah. So it's not just like understanding charts and graphs, right? It's your mindset.
It's huge. Think about it.
Yeah.
When you're potentially facing losses, it's easy to get caught up in fear and greed.
Right.
Which cloud your judgment,
Yeah.
So this document, it stresses how important it is to have a good plan, manage your risk properly.
Right.
And stay level-headed when the market is volatile.
Yeah, that makes sense. So then the next section, it's all about risk management.
Okay.
And they talk about the 1% rule.
Oh, yeah.
What is it?
That's fundamental to risk management in trading.
Okay.
It basically means you never want to risk more than 1% of your total trading capital.
Oh, okay.
On any single trade.
Okay.
So that protects you, especially when you're starting out.
Right.
From just catastrophic losses.
So even if a trade goes bad, you don't wipe out your whole account.
Exactly. It's about preserving capital so you can stay in the game longer.
I see.
And that actually connects to something they mentioned later about compounding.
Oh, okay.
So even small, consistent gains, if you manage your risk well, can grow like significantly over time.
That's pretty interesting. I hadn't thought of that, how those connect.
Yeah.
Let's get into some trading strategies now.
Yeah.
Because they list like price action trading, support and resistance levels, even like trend following versus counter trend trading. It's a lot.
It can seem like a lot.
Yeah.
But these are kind of the core concepts of trading.
Okay.
Because price action trading, that's about looking at past price movements on a chart. And you're trying to identify patterns.
Okay.
And potential opportunities for trading.
So it's like looking for clues to see where the price might go next.
Exactly. And support and resistance levels, those are really important for price action trading.
Okay.
And those are basically price zones where the price has struggled to move beyond historically. So support is a level where buying pressure, it tends to prevent the price from dropping further.
Oh, okay.
And resistance is that level where the selling pressure tends to cap the price.
Okay. So traders use that then to try to guess where it might turn around or break through.
You got it. Then you have trend following and counter trend trading.
Okay.
So trend followers, they ride the momentum of an existing trend.
Okay.
Buying when the price is rising, selling when it's going down. Counter trend traders, they try to predict those reversals. They buy when the price is falling.
Right.
And then sell when it rises.
That sounds a lot riskier.
It's definitely more challenging.
Yeah.
You need a very good understanding of how the market works.
Right.
The outline also talks about using things like the economic calendar.
Okay.
And understanding liquidity zones to find the best trades.
Yeah.
What are your thoughts on that?
Well, I know that the economic calendar tracks like major economic announcements, right?
Right.
That can affect the market. But liquidity zones, that's a new one for me.
So liquidity zones are basically areas where the price has a high concentration of buyers and sellers. So that means it's easier to enter and exit trades quickly.
Gotcha.
Without really affecting the price.
Okay.
And traders look for that high liquidity because it cuts down on slippage.
Okay.
Which is that difference between, the price you expect to get for a trade and the actual price that it's executed at.
So it's like finding those sweet spots where there's not a lot of pushback.
Exactly.
Yeah. Okay. Now they talk about these tools and platforms to actually do all this stuff, like TradingView, Binance, Bybit, MetaTrader 45. I've heard of some of those.
Yeah.
But then it mentions automated trading bots. Are those like robots that make decisions for you?
They really are.
Wow.
Yeah. These bots can execute trades automatically
Okay.
based on rules and parameters that you program.
Oh, wow.
So, for example, you could set a bot to buy a certain asset when it drops below a certain price, or to sell when it hits your profit target.
That's pretty wild, right? Like it almost takes out the human emotion from trading.
It does. And there are definitely pros and cons.
Yeah, I bet.
On the plus side, bots are much faster than us.
Right.
And they don't get emotional.
Yeah.
But you have to remember, they're just following your rules. So if the rules aren't good,
Yeah.
you can actually lose money.
Right. So it's not just like set it and forget it. You still got to know what you're doing.
You absolutely have to understand the principles
Yeah.
and be able to program the bot correctly.
Okay. Well, I think we're at the big question. How much money can you actually make?
Yeah, everyone wants to know, right?
Yeah.
Well, the document, it gives some numbers, but it's really important to remember. There are no guarantees in trading.
Right.
What you could potentially make depends on a bunch of things.
Right.
How much money you start with, what strategies you use,
Yeah.
your risk tolerance, and of course, your skill and discipline.
So not a quick way to get rich, like some people might think.
Definitely not. It takes time, effort, and a real commitment to learning to be successful.
Yeah, that makes sense. They list 10 different ways to make money from trading here.
Oh, wow.
Everything from day trading to swing trading to even some things like copy trading and selling trading courses or signals.
It's a lot of variety.
It is. I mean, which ones are you most curious about?
Well, I think it'd be interesting to learn more about day trading versus swing trading.
Yeah, okay.
And then scalping. I'm curious about that. What's that all about?
Okay, yeah, break that down for me.
So day trading, that involves opening and closing your trades within a single day.
Okay.
You're trying to make money from those short-term price movements. And it requires, fast decision making. You got to watch the market closely.
Right.
Swing trading, that's holding on to trades for, maybe a few days, even weeks.
Okay.
You're trying to catch those bigger price swings.
So day trading is like speed and agility. Swing trading is more, patience riding the waves.
That's a great way to put it. Yeah, and then scalping, this is very short term.
Right.
You're trying to get small but frequent profits from these tiny little price movements.
Oh.
So this requires incredible focus.
Wow.
You're in and out of trades really, really fast.
That sounds mentally exhausting.
It can be, yeah.
What about those more like passive income streams?
Oh, yeah.
Copy trading and the courses and signals. Those seem, a lot different.
Yeah, very different. So copy trading, that's an interesting one.
Yeah.
That's where you can automatically mirror the trades of more experienced traders.
Oh, so you're just letting someone else make the decisions for you.
Essentially.
How do you even choose who to copy?
Right. Well, the platforms.
Yeah.
They usually have systems for like rating and reviewing the traders.
Oh?
So you can see their track record and their risk profile.
Yeah.
So picking a reputable and successful trader is key there.
Right. Okay, and then there's, selling your knowledge, like with the courses, the signals. You could even coach one-on-one.
Right.
It seems like a whole other level, not just trading, but like teaching people how to do it.
It is. And it's something that can be very lucrative.
Yeah.
But it comes with a big sense of responsibility.
Yeah.
Because of that high failure rate we talked about earlier.
Right.
So we definitely have to talk about the ethical side of that as we go deeper.
Yeah, for sure. So, we've covered a lot, from the psychology to the strategies to, potential ways to make money.
It's a lot.
What are like your main takeaways so far from this whole YouTube outline?
For me, I think it really highlights how important mindset is and risk management.
Yeah.
It's not just about learning charts and following signals. You have to have the discipline and the emotional control to actually, carry out your strategy.
Yeah. And it's not one size fits all, right? Different strategies work for different people.
Exactly. You have to find what works for you as an individual.
Right.
And I think as we continue this deep dive, it's important to look at not just the how of trading, but but also the why.
The why. Okay.
Yeah. What are the motivations behind teaching trading and selling advice?
Yeah, that's a great question.
And what ethical things do we have to consider?
Right. That's a big conversation we can't skip over.
Definitely not.
So let's move on to the next part of the outline and explore that idea of, building a business around trading.
Sounds good.
Okay, so we've talked about like the actual trading part, strategies and mindset and all that. But this outline, it goes even further, right? It's about actually making money by teaching other people how to trade.
It is.
What do you think about that?
I mean, I think there's a good side and a not so good side.
Yeah.
Like sharing knowledge and helping people learn, that's a good thing.
Right?
There are a lot of people out there who want to learn about trading and want good education on it. And if it's done the right way, it can help people make better decisions with their money.
But this document seems to be really focused on like the business part of it.
Yeah, for sure.
Like less about education, more about like making money from that knowledge. It even talks about things like affiliate marketing, where you get paid to promote trading platforms. Doesn't that seem like there could be a conflict of interest there?
Yeah, it definitely raises some red flags.
Yeah.
I mean, if someone's making money by telling people to use a certain platform,
right,
how do we know they're really giving unbiased advice that's in the best interest of the person learning?
So like how much can we trust those recommendations?
Exactly.
Yeah.
And that's where transparency becomes so important.
Yeah.
If you're promoting something, you got to be upfront about it.
Yeah.
Let people know you're getting paid to do it.
Be honest with your audience.
Exactly. And that goes for any kind of trading education, whether it's courses or signals or one-on-one coaching. You always have to remember that trading involves risk. There's no way to guarantee profits.
Right.
So if you're teaching, you got to be responsible about it.
Yeah.
Set realistic expectations, emphasize risk management, and encourage people to never stop learning.
It seems like there's a tough balance there,
Yeah.
You want to help people learn, but you also don't want to mislead them or make promises you can't keep.
Absolutely. And it's not just about the person teaching either.
What do you mean?
Well, the person learning has a responsibility too.
Okay.
Just because you learn how to trade doesn't mean you're going to be good at it or that you'll use that knowledge responsibly.
Right. It's not magic.
It's like any tool, really. It can be used for good or for bad.
I see what you mean. So you're saying there's an ethical dimension to how you use that knowledge once you have it.
Exactly. Like imagine someone learns these really complex trading strategies and then uses them to manipulate the market or take advantage of people who don't know as much.
That sounds pretty shady.
It is. It's like using your knowledge to exploit others instead of participating fairly.
Right. Like instead of actually trading, you're just trying to game the system.
Yeah. And that brings up a bigger question about the whole point of trading in the first place.
Like, why are we even doing this?
Is it just about making as much money as possible, or is there something more to it?
Yeah, like a sense of responsibility or something.
Right. I think different people will have different answers to that question.
Yeah, for sure.
Some might see trading as a zero-sum game where someone wins and someone else loses. Others might see it as contributing to the economy, helping businesses grow and stuff.
Right. So it's not so black and white.
It's complicated, and it really comes down to your own values and beliefs.
But it's definitely something worth thinking about,
Absolutely, if you're involved in trading at all.
Like, what impact do you want to have, and what kind of trader do you want to be?
That's a good question to ask yourself.
I think that's a really good takeaway for our listeners today. It's not just about the technical stuff,
Right.
but also about your motivations and the ethics of how you act in the market.
For sure. And while this document focuses on the business of trading, we have to remember that trading is ultimately about participating in a very complex system.
Right.
It takes knowledge, skill, and a deep understanding of risk.
It seems like this outline might be skipping over some of that stuff, though, right?
It might be. I mean, it is just an outline for a YouTube video, probably trying to get a lot of views.
Yeah.
So it makes sense that they'd focus on the exciting parts and the potential to make money.
Right. But if you're serious about learning to trade, you can't just buy into the hype. You got to look deeper and understand the risks.
Definitely anyone who promises you'll get rich quick is not being honest.
So what advice would you give to someone who's listening right now and wants to get into trading?
I'd say be curious, ask a lot of questions, and don't just believe everything you hear.
Yeah.
Don't blindly follow anyone's advice or signals. Right. Take the time to really understand the strategies and make your own plan based on your goals and how much risk you're comfortable with.
So do your own research?
Yeah, and don't just rely on one source.
Yeah.
There are lots of good books, courses, and websites that can teach you about trading.
It sounds like the key is to approach it with an open mind and be ready to learn and adapt as you go.
Absolutely. Trading is a journey, not a destination. There's always something new to learn, and the market is always changing.
So you got to be able to keep up.
Yeah, and I think that applies to both the technical side of trading and the ethical side.
Right, like you were saying before about how you use your knowledge.
Exactly. It's all connected.
Well, I think this has given our listeners a lot to think about.
Yeah.
Both about how to trade and about the bigger picture of responsibility and ethics.
Hopefully.
What are your final thoughts for them as they start exploring the world of trading?
I would say approach it with curiosity and a desire to learn. Don't be afraid to try things out, but always be careful with your money.
Good advice.
And remember, trading is a marathon, not a sprint.
Yeah.
It takes time and dedication to be successful.
So be patient.
And maybe, most importantly, don't let the idea of making money overshadow the importance of doing things the right way.
Being ethical.
Yeah, trading is about being part of a big system that connects people and economies all over the world.
It is.
So let's try to make it a better system, not a worse one.
I like that. Well said. You know, as we're wrapping this up, there's one more thing from this YouTube outline that I keep thinking about.
Oh yeah, what's that?
They had that list of like 10 ways to make money from trading.
Right.
We talked about some of them, but a few really stood out to me as like really interesting.
Yeah, it is a pretty diverse list. Which ones were you thinking about?
Well, we talked about day trading and swing trading, but scalping, that just seems wild.
Oh yeah.
Like it's just so fast and precise.
It is a whole different world.
Yeah.
Remember, scalpers are trying to make tiny profits from super quick trades. Like they might only hold a position for a few seconds or minutes.
Wow.
It's all about reading those little market movements and being super fast with your trades.
Sounds like you'd need like nerves of steel to do that.
For sure. It takes a lot of discipline and a really deep understanding of the market.
And I bet it's hard to actually make money consistently.
Yeah. It is definitely not a strategy I'd recommend for beginners.
So what kind of trader is it good for then?
Usually more experienced traders who really know their technical analysis and can make decisions quickly under pressure.
Makes sense. So what about those like more passive approaches?
Oh, like copy trading and the courses and signals.
Yeah, those sparked a lot of discussion.
They did. It's interesting because they offer a totally different way to approach trading. Copy trading, for example, lets you basically piggyback on the success of someone more experienced.
Right.
So it could be good for someone who's just starting out or someone who doesn't have a lot of time to spend actually trading.
But like we said, you got to be careful who you choose to copy.
Absolutely. There's always risk, and you're trusting someone else with your money.
Right. So how do you pick the right person?
Well, a lot of platforms have rating systems and reviews for traders.
Okay.
So you can look at their track record, see how they trade and how much risk they take.
So you can find someone who matches your style.
Yeah, and it's always smart to diversify even when you're copy trading.
So don't put all your eggs in one basket.
Right. And then there's selling courses or signals,
Right.
which is a whole other thing.
It is. It's like you're turning your trading knowledge into a business.
Yeah, exactly. And it can be very profitable, but you also have a responsibility to your students.
We talked about that, right?
You have to be ethical and transparent and never make promises you can't keep.
Right. You're not just giving away secrets. You're trying to help people become better traders themselves.
Exactly. And remember, just because you're a good trader doesn't mean you're a good teacher.
That's true.
It takes different skills. You have
Yeah.
to explain things clearly, create engaging materials, and be there to support your students.
So it's a lot more than just knowing how to trade.
It is.
Yeah.
Well, I think we've covered a ton of ground today.
We have, from the technical details to the ethics of it all.
Yeah, it's been a good deep dive.
So as we wrap up, what are your final thoughts for our listeners as they start their own trading journey?
I'd say approach trading with an open mind and a willingness to learn. Don't be afraid to try things out, but always be careful with your risk management.
Okay.
Trading is a marathon, not a sprint.
Right.
So be patient and focus on the long game.
Yeah. And don't forget about ethics and responsibility.
Absolutely. Those are so important.
Trading connects people and economies all over the world.
It does.
So let's try to make it a positive force.
Couldn't agree more.
Well, that's about all the time we have for today. Thanks for joining us for this deep dive into the world of trading.
Yeah, it's been fun.
We hope you learned some valuable insights and are feeling inspired to keep exploring.
Definitely.
And until next time, happy trading, everyone.
Thanks for tuning into our channel Money Minded Online. If you found value in today's episode, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe, and turn on notifications so you never miss an update. Share this episode with friends who are looking to make money online and join the community. Drop a comment below with your favorite tip or takeaway. We'd love to hear from you. Until next time, keep hustling and making moves. See you in the next episode.